Live.
Looks like we're live.
Yep. What's going on, you guys? It's the Michael Myers. Welcome back to a brand new live stream. As you guys know, this one is pretty long awaited. Apologize for you guys who were looking forward to it. We had to postpone this live discussion about 3 times, right?
Yeah, about 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's due to technical difficulties, but it's better late than never. As you guys know, we're gonna be taking a look at reviewing uh the Halloween trilogy, the Blumhouse Halloween trilogy, individually with my good friend Slashermovies410.
What's
Of
going on,
course,
guys?
yeah, no stranger to the channel. You guys already know.
Yeah.
And
So, thanks so much for having me once again, man. And I'm really excited to break down each film and talk about them individually.
yeah, man, for sure. I have a good time with these live discussions, man. So I think it was definitely best to bring you back on the channel, man. So we're gonna get straight into it, man. So pretty much, you guys know this discussion is we're gonna be taking a look at each of the Blumhouse Halloween movies. Of course, the 2018 film Halloween Kills
Yep.
and
And
the
then,
latest Halloween Ends, man. So, of course, we're gonna start off with the 2018 film, man. We're gonna get straight into it. First of all, man, what do you personally think overall? For the first 2018 film, our first film we got from this trilogy by Blumhouse.
yeah. So I thought Halloween 2018 was a solid entry in the Halloween series, and it's a pretty decent direct sequel. I remember the hype was absolutely insane when the first official trailer dropped, and people were absolutely losing their minds because at that time we hadn't seen Michael Myers on the big screen since 2009, you know? And I remember that specific trailer being so great and suspenseful, and I was really excited to see where they're going to take this franchise next. But even though I think Halloween 2018 is a decent sequel, I do have issues with the movie, though. The first issue that I have with the movie, of course, is the corny dialogue. I really felt that the dialogue was really cheesy, and a lot of the lines were placed during inappropriate times when the film was just attempting to get serious. For example, in the beginning of the film, you remember when Ray was playing with the mouse traps?
Yeah,
Yeah, and then he says the famous line, "Oh man, I got peanut butter on my penis." Like, I'm not
yeah,
even
yeah.
kidding, dude. When I went to go see the premiere of that movie, nobody in the audience laughed during that scene, and rightfully so. It just felt so random and out of place because we literally just met this character moments ago and he's already cracking bad jokes out of nowhere. It's like, what is going on?
Oh, I'm losing connection.
Are you losing connection? You still there, man? Everyone in the chat, can you hear what I'm saying or okay. Okay, we're gonna have to wait for Michael Myers to come back, of course, but okay, so Michael Myers, I'm not sure if you could see me or hear me, but uh your camera's
Can you hear
frozen.
me now? Can you hear me
Oh,
now?
there we go. Yep, I could hear you now.
I apologize, man. This Wi-Fi is really slow. But
It's all good, man. Oh, I could
yeah,
actually. Oh,
so
there we
so
go.
back
Much
to
better.
what we were talking about. So the cheesy dialogue, that one scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just thought it was so random and out of place, and there was a lot of bad dialogue in this movie. I remember another line that was just really terrible was when Allison was walking with her friends to school, and then her friend Dave asked her, "Wasn't it Laurie's brother that murdered all those teenagers?" And then Allison says, "No, that was not her brother. That was something that people made up to make themselves feel better." Now,
I agree.
Now, this line just if you think about this line logically, it makes no sense. It's like, why would someone make up the fact that someone is brother and sister to make themselves feel better, you know? Because like, what is there to feel better about?
That's the exactly, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get that they threw this line in to make the audience aware that Halloween 2 isn't canon in this timeline, but and, you know,
They,
they
they
aren't
didn't they
supposed
didn't
to.
have to do it in a cheesy way, you know.
Exactly, they could have addressed this in a much better way. All Allison had to say is, "No, that was not her brother, it was some random guy that attacked her, for no reason," and just leave it like that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man, I agree. A lot of the cheesy dialogue, man, is the main thing. My main issue with 2018, and I agree with you, man. I remember when they first announced 2018, the hype was really
Mhm.
big. I was really hyped, man, because like you said, it's been a long time since almost 10, it was almost 10 years. You know, we've
Yeah,
seen Myers on the big screen, and so it was really like exciting, you know, to finally I know there was rumors about like previous films they were gonna do like in I think in 2013 and 15, man, but I guess that was just our rumors. But once it was official, it was pretty great, man, because
yeah,
I was excited for sure, man. And I wasn't like at that time I wasn't too familiar with Blumhouse. I'm sure
right,
I've seen a few of their films, but I still had hope for Blumhouse, man, for them to really and I think they had a great shot for them
mhm,
to do a nice trilogy, you know, with the Halloween franchise. And yeah, I mean, I feel like from what it looks, I feel that they kind of put more effort and kind of more passion, and they kind of took a little bit more of their time with 2018,
I
if you
agree,
ask me.
I agree completely. Now, I
Yeah,
remember back around 2013, I think there was rumors of them doing a Rob Zombie Halloween 3. Now that's something
yeah,
I
I
wouldn't.
remember that. Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't really particularly like to see that because it's like, what are they gonna do with the sequel? Because 'Cause they're all pretty much dead at the end if you think about it, you know?
yeah, for sure. And that was the main film that I heard about too, man. At that time,
Mhm.
was the third Rob Zombie film, Halloween 3D. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were trying to do it 3D, and I mean, I thought the whole 3D thing was kind of dumb, but I mean, yeah, I agree. I feel there wasn't. I feel there was no reason for them to revive to revive the Rob Zombie series, man. Because yeah, they both died,
Mhm.
and you know, even Rob Zombie said himself, man. He said he wouldn't really come back for a third film. You know,
Yeah,
so yeah, me too. I'm glad that film never came out, and I'm glad it was they went the route they went.
for sure, and I was just gonna say, Rob Zombie wasn't really ever keen on ever doing a second movie, but the studio kind of forced him to do it. So he's like, "You know what? I'm just gonna go all out. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I don't really care what anyone thinks, and look what we got," you know?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, man. I had a lot of hope for 2018 when it was
Mhm.
coming out. Like I said, I remember I was that was the film that was probably the last film I really was like into. Like every update, I try to look for like I don't do that no more with upcoming movies. But
Right.
2018 was like the last one that I was like trying to find every like behind the scene picture I can. You know, that's how much I was looking forward to it, man. And it came out. It really wasn't as expected, man, but I think it was still a decent film. You know,
Yeah.
it's probably the one I watched the most out of
Mhm.
the three, yeah, for sure. Um, but like I said, I do have my negatives with the film. The
Mhm.
dialogue, I feel the Jamie Lee Curtis character, the Laurie character, I know they try to pick up like with her 40 years later, you know, as
Yes.
a survivor, but they could have done more with her, man, especially for 2018, since that was like the main comeback.
Yeah, I
Uh,
felt like it was over exaggerated. Like,
yeah,
another thing that I didn't like was how crazy Laurie Strode was in this movie. She was basically Sarah Connor from the Terminator movies. You know, I
yeah,
get that her character has a lot of trauma, I understand that, but we can't forget that this happened 40 years ago, and he's been locked up for all that time. And in my opinion, Jamie Lee Curtis's portrayal in Halloween Ends is how we should have seen her in Halloween 2018. Since it's the 40th anniversary, maybe that specific Halloween is when Lori decides to finally let go of her past, specifically for her daughter Allison. So, she decides to embrace life and not worry about Michael Myers anymore. And that's when he actually breaks out of Smith's Grove once again. I think that would have been much better.
Yeah, man, I agree. I was gonna mention that too, man. About yeah, I think the way they portrayed Laurie in Ends should have
Mhm.
been the way she should have been portrayed in 2018, because in 2018 I kind of got like she was just like this paranoid you know, elderly woman who was just waiting for Michael to come out, of course. So I think the character development could have been better there, man. And I
Yeah,
think they did a better job. Like even in Ends, which we will get into, in Ends she has, you know, her memoir and stuff like that stuff. They should have, I think, put it in 2018, man. And I think
I
it would
agree.
have it would have kind of built, you could say, the suspense a little bigger. So when you get to the point where Michael escaping, that's when Laurie's like, okay, like you, it's kind of, you could say it's unsurprising, because I guess in 2018 they made it out,
Oh, Michael Myers, you're glitching out a little bit, man. Yeah, I can't hear you too well. I think it's a Wi-Fi issue.
Am I freezing again? I'm good.
I think you're good now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
it's the Wi-Fi issue. Yeah,
yeah, it's all good, man. But now on the other hand, if Halloween 2 had actually happened and it was canon, I could actually see Laurie going that crazy in Halloween 2018. Because think about it, she was stalked all day on Halloween by a creepy man wearing a white mask. He killed all her friends. He followed her to a hospital. Then he gets set on fire by Dr. Loomis while walking towards her. And then later in the film, she finds out that they're brother and sister. I think that could make anyone go crazy. And I feel like Laurie's arc in this trilogy is backshit backwards. It should have been the other way around. I think 2018's Laurie should have been Halloween Ends' Laurie, and Ends' Laurie should have been 2018's. Oh, you're frozen again, man. All right, for everyone that's watching, we apologize. We're having some technical difficulties on Michael Myers' end. I think I could kind of see you.
I'm good now, right? Can you
Yeah,
hear
you're
me?
good. Yeah, you're good. It's a little blurry, but it's
Okay.
okay. Yeah, I can see and hear you now.
All right, right. So you were saying,
Yeah, I was basically saying how 2018's Laurie should have been Halloween Ends, and then Ends'
yeah, yeah,
Laurie should have been 2018's. They kind of have her arc completely backwards.
yeah, and I agree with your point of view, man, for sure, about all the shit, you know, she went through.
Hmm.
You know, let's say if H2 was canon. So yeah, the Lori character has the right to be like all like how she was in 2018, man.
Hmm.
And do you like, did you like the fact that with this new introduction to Halloween, did you like the fact that they, you know, had Lori have a daughter and a granddaughter?
Yeah, I didn't mind that at all because this is a alternate timeline. So I would expect
Yeah,
her to have kids and grandkids. I wasn't expecting them to bring back Danielle Harris. It would have been cool to see her in like a cameo, but it's cool to have, her have different children and grandchildren and all that. So I didn't mind it at all.
yeah, same here, man. I think it kind of, you could say, added more to the story, because it,
Mhm.
it it went from Laurie Strode to her family, you know.
Right.
So it kind of is a little more like, you could say, like it's something, you know, you got to do about it, you know. And yeah, I didn't mind neither, man. Even though I think Judy Greer was the weaker character.
Mm,
Um, I think their presence, you could say, kind of made the movie, because you could kind of see that chemistry, the relationship, how it was, you could say, with Judy Greer and Laurie. You could say, like, in 2018, Judy Greer didn't really they kind of thought, like, in the beginning of the movie, Laurie was still kind of crazy.
mm.
She's still paranoid from this incident, man, until, yeah, it came out to be true, man, that the shape escaped. And that's when Judy Greer, it seemed, of course, she was, growing up. Laurie trained her for, of course, the same reasons, the event she went through. So I think that was a good, it was, you could say, a good build up, a good addition to the story, like
Sure.
family.
Yeah, I didn't personally mind Judy Greer's character all that much. I found her a little bit annoying in 2018, but in Kills, she was an integral part of the story, I'd say, for sure. But another problem that I have with 2018 as a movie is really the beginning scene with the podcaster showing Michael his mask. Now, in my opinion, it just makes 0 sense because Aaron's reason for having the mask is that he had a friend at the attorney general's office, and in my opinion, that's just really lazy writing. That mask is police evidence, and they would just never let some random guy have it just for a silly podcast, you know?
I agree, man. Yeah, because he was just like doing like a podcast or whatever he was doing.
Yeah,
So I never kind of got that, man. How the hell he ended up with the mask in his hands?
yeah,
Since that's considered police evidence.
yeah. It's just bad writing ultimately.
Yeah, man. Same here. That I remember the theater. I cringed at that scene, man. Yeah, like when he shows them the mask. It,
Yeah.
it was just, yeah, like you say, lazy writing. Um,
And then he's holding out in front of him. He's like, "Say something, say something." It's like
yeah,
he's
man.
trying to talk.
It was kind of hilarious at the same time, man, because I was expecting kind of like a more serious, grounded Halloween film.
Mhm.
And of course, David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, their resume is comedy films, right?
Yeah.
So of course we I kind of expected that, man. But and like you said, the cheesy lines, with Ray and here and there. I will
Mhm.
say 2018 or I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to say Kills. I was gonna say 2018 was the one with the most cringy dialogue, but I think I'm gonna have to give it to Kills, man.
Yeah. Yeah, they're, both up there in terms of cringy lines. But
Yeah,
also another, scene that I didn't really like in particular were Julian's scenes. Now, the kid's a funny kid, let's be real, he's a good actor, he's a funny kid, but, in my opinion, if he saw Michael Myers, he shouldn't be cracking jokes, he should be scared shitless and crying, you know? That's what I wanna see.
yeah, man. Kind of like a more, make it feel more like, kind of like, of course it's not real, but more like, just common sense.
Yeah, for sure. Like, if anybody saw if I was a little kid and I saw some creepy guy in my closet wearing a white mask, I'd be scared. I wouldn't say, "Oh shit," and jump out of my bed. I'd run out of the room crying hysterically.
Yeah, I agree, man. Machete Slasher, what's up?
What's up, Machete Slasher?
Toxic Tunes 13 says David Gordon Green should have done and be left alone and maybe get a different director to kills. And hey,
Yeah,
Toxic Tunes 13, I agree, man, with your comment,
I
because,
agree
yeah,
too,
that's what he should have done. Yeah.
for sure. Also, let's talk about the Sartain twist. I mean, it was just so bad, and that just speaks for itself, you know? When Sartain put on the Michael Myers mask, I honestly laughed at how stupid that was. And, also throughout that scene, Hawkins should have been dead when Sartain stabbed him in the neck and ran him over. He would have bled out and died very quickly if that happened in real life, and I know it is implied that Cameron probably found him moments after that happened, but again, he would have bled out and died really quickly if that was real, and I was actually surprised that they brought back Hawkins for Halloween Kills.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm glad they did, man, because I think he was, you could say, one of the stronger leads, stronger characters.
Yeah, I liked his character a lot, and it's really unfortunate that they brought his character back only to waste him in Halloween Ends, but that's a whole 'nother story, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, man. I feel that a lot of lost potential, man, in this damn trilogy. A lot of returning legacy characters. Of course, with 2018, Lindsay didn't come back till Kills, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't come back till Kills, yeah. And then in the
So
end, they did absolutely nothing with her. They just made her like a bartender for 2 scenes, and that was it.
yeah, it's a joke, man. And back to of course, the fake Loomis. What was his name again?
Dr. Sartain.
Yeah, man. I feel kind of that was unnecessary
Mhm.
because it kind of shows, or not shows, but it kind of made it look uh like you could say kind of like they kind of like try to fill in Loomis's shoes, even though they, of course, they he's not like a main character like Loomis was.
Yeah.
But I think it was really unnecessary, man. Because and then of course the whole thing about him trying to, when he puts on the mask and stuff like that. I feel that time they could have literally focused on like a little bit more like story structure, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they put him in that movie to kind of place him in that Dr. Loomis, excuse me, type of role, but they kinda made him like the evil Loomis, and I just feel like it didn't work, you know?
Yeah, totally, man, totally. I feel Lori and her and Judy Greer and Allison
Mhm.
could have easily carried on the movie, and they did, you know, they definitely did.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
for sure.
yeah, and I like how it kind of, you could say, takes it back also to the origins a little bit, you know, with the whole babysitting aspect.
Mhm.
I like that, you know, with the little kid. Um, Another good thing I will say about 2018, or I will say about the trilogy itself. I
Mhm.
like the cinematography.
Yes.
I
The
like
movie was sh
the
the
whole
movie was, shot
Halloween vibe.
beautifully. Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to intervene. I was just gonna say the movie was definitely shot beautifully, and it has great cinematography. I love the nighttime scenes and everything, and it just looks great. It looks aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, man, for sure. And that's what one thumbs up about the trilogy is the whole cinematography, man. Even on the trailers, man. I remember when before these movies came out, that's kind of, you could say, one hope that it gave me is the cinematography. Like it really does, you get the Halloween vibes, man, and it felt great. Like I said,
Sure.
2018 was our first Halloween movie in a long time, so it felt great, man, when I saw it in the theaters.
For sure,
Um,
man, I agree. So, now as far as the positives go for Halloween 2018, do you have, like, a scene that sticks out to you or one that you really enjoyed?
One scene in particular that stands out from 2018 to me will be the deaths of the journalist in the
I was just
bathroom.
gonna say that.
Yeah, man, because that scene always like, I just like the whole the score, the suspense,
Yeah.
um and just because those freaking characters were annoying as hell, man, it was great seeing them
Mhm.
get killed. But I think the way they got killed, I think like that death scene, the bathroom scene, I think it's a little bit more of the standout scenes for me, man, because it kind of was intense, you know, when I first saw it in the
Yeah.
theater, you know. So yeah, good stuff, man. That's also, that's one of my favorite scenes in the whole film.
Yeah, I also like the bathroom scene where, Dana and Aaron, I believe, get killed by Myers. In my opinion, the scene would have been way scarier at night, but it still works in my opinion, even though it's in broad daylight. Myers was really violent with his kills, which is kind of out of character because in the original, he killed people not so brutally. But in this one, we see him slam a guy's head into the wall, which was really interesting to say the least. But yeah, I like that scene, and I also like the scene with the continuous shot of Michael going on a killing rampage in the neighborhood from house to house,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and the camera work was really all done. It was done well, and I believe they did that all in one shot too, which is really cool.
One shot, yeah, man. Yeah, that's one of the main scenes. Like when I was talking about like the whole cinematography,
Hmm.
that was the scene that kind of I had in my mind, man, because it was just a great shot, man. You know, yeah, it just gives you those Halloween vibes, you know. Um, yeah, for sure. So that's definitely one positive. about 2018. I'm gonna tell you my favorite thing. You could tell me your favorite, your favorite thing about the whole movie. My
Hmm.
favorite thing about the whole movie is James Jude Corney himself, man, as Michael
Yes,
Myers.
absolutely,
Yeah, he carried on the movie, man, and like I always say, I think he's right behind James Jude. He's right behind Nick Castle
for
because
sure.
he really and of course I think we had Nick Castle in this film, right, for a few shots.
Yeah, I think it was for one shot in particular. It was when he was by the window, and then Laurie shoots the gun at him.
Yeah, yeah. So I feel James Jude Corney kind of really like studied the Shapes moves,
Yeah.
especially with the original movie. So he got that spot on, man, for sure. So that's my favorite thing about uh 2018, man, is Myers himself, the mask, the new design. It was just dope, man. For the
Hmm.
first
I
when we saw it for the first time, it was dope.
For sure, I absolutely agree. James Jude Courtney is definitely the second best Michael Myers in the series by far. He really studied Nick Castle's mannerisms, and I'm sure Nick Castle helped him behind the scenes and stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
helped him accurately depict his character. Um, but again, the camera work was just really good in this movie, I do gotta say, and it was really cool to hear that classic Halloween theme hit as he's walking around. I'm never
Yeah.
gonna forget that. That's gonna be a memory I'm never gonna forget, especially seeing that in the movie theaters, it's just unheard of. But when he killed that woman by the window and stabbed her in the neck, you could easily tell that the knife was CGI. It was a little distracting, but it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I agree, man. You could say the kills were a little, they were good, but you could
Mm,
say they were a little like cheesy here and there.
yeah,
But it was not good, man. Of course, they stepped their game up with
yeah.
the kills for Halloween kills. But my second favorite thing about the movie, man, right behind Michael Myers, is the soundtrack. The score,
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah. The soundtrack is definitely the best in Halloween 2018 compared to Kills and Ends, which they both had great soundtracks, especially Kills, but Halloween 2018 is, like, untouchable. I don't think they're ever gonna top that. So good.
Yeah, man. And I remember when I first heard it, man, it felt like so refreshing. Like it felt because I believe John Carpenter did the soundtrack with his son, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Cody Carpenter. Yep.
Yeah, so they definitely captured that. They captured that, and like I said,
Oh, you're glitching out.
it
Wait, one
was
second. You're glitching out.
fresh.
Wait, hold that thought, man. You're
This
you're glitching out right now. Again.
trilogy. So that's
Wait, one sec. Michael Myers, hold your thought
when
because, you're glitching out right now.
it was really
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, man. I didn't catch one word you said because it was glitching out. Let's see if we could get him back on. I think we're good. Can you hear me? I
yeah,
can
yeah,
see you.
we're
I
good.
can hear you now. Are you good?
Yeah, yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay. Yeah, so,
You can hear me?
continue your thought because, like, I couldn't hear a word you said.
Yeah, yeah. So you can hear me now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We're good. Okay, okay. So yeah, man. One thing about the score is great.
Mhm.
Let's
Yeah,
read
I
some of
also,
these.
oh,
Go for it.
sorry.
Go
Go
for it.
ahead.
No, go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I also really liked the final showdown at Laurie's house. I thought it was really suspenseful, especially when Allison and Karen are in the basement and they could hear Michael Myers' footsteps up the stairs and they could hear it getting closer and closer. And then Karen loads her gun and says, I can't do it, I can't do it. And then she finally sees him and says, Gotcha. And then shoots him right in the face. I thought that was all good stuff. Everything that occurred in the final showdown at Laurie's was all pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. I like the ending to it. Yeah. In terms of like the fight, you could say,
Yeah.
where Lori, has her little trap. don't get me wrong. I kind of wish they did something a little bit more different, more original, because we kind of did see that before.
Hmm.
Um, and honestly, man, I felt, I'm pretty sure it was intentional because, of course, we had kills to follow. But I feel the ending was a little too rushed, in my opinion. I just feel it just ended out of nowhere. But I mean, it makes sense, because I think they did for kills. They did a good job on picking up right after the where 2018 left off. But yeah, that whole sequence, man, in the, you know, Michael versus Laurie and the other one, like, I thought that was pretty good too, man.
Yeah, like I said, everything that occurred in the final showdown at Laurie's was all pretty good. I just wish we got to see that knife fight that was actually a deleted scene, but it was never released for the Blu-ray. One day, I hope someone leaks it and puts it on YouTube or something, because that's something I would really like to see.
Yeah, man, I agree. I think that scene might could have possibly been better, but
Mhm.
yeah, I know what you're talking about because they did show a few clips on the trailer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
And,
it's very briefly.
yeah, and I was looking forward to it on the Blu-ray, but I guess it didn't. They didn't release it with
Yeah.
it.
Maybe if they ever make, like, a new Halloween box set, they'll include it.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. Yeah, to kind of see like the alternate, you could say, ending.
Yeah, but only a fan could dream. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. Uh, Toxic Tunes, Halloween Kills, Sing with that mental patient got some. Yeah, man. We're about to jump into
Yeah, we're gonna
Kills.
touch on that.
I really can't wait.
Same.
Halloween End sucks. Most definitely, man, for sure. It's the worst one.
Agreed.
The shape. Yeah, the shit. Toxic Tunes mentioned about the one shot you were talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely one of the most standout scenes in the movie, man, for sure.
Sure, that was a great scene. I typically prefer to see Michael, like, in the distance, and they had him up close, but I still think it worked for that scene alone. I still think it was really well done, and hats off to the filmmakers.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. So yeah, 2018. I feel I have positives with it, man. I
Mhm,
probably have the most positives with it from the trilogy, and yeah, overall, man, I had a good experience at the theater.
mhm,
Um,
I did too.
with 2018, yeah, because it was refreshing, man. It was. I will say though, I feel like I watched it too much, man.
Mm,
I've seen it too much where I feel like it's not as watchable. Like I wouldn't pop in 2018.
right, like, you kinda need a little break from it.
Right. So yeah. So it isn't my like personal. Like I wouldn't pick it if I want to watch Halloween, but it's a decent comeback, you could say. And as a direct sequel, it kind of course Halloween 2 is the better direct sequel, but
For sure.
they did a good job, man. And I think they if they would have done a remake instead, I think it would have been far more worse, man. So
Yeah,
I accept the 2018 film we got.
yeah. It's definitely an acceptable film, but I'm ready to change gears now and talk about this movie right here, Halloween Kills. Uh,
Yep,
this
yep.
may this may actually surprise people, but I actually like this movie more than Halloween 2018, but I understand and acknowledge that 2018 is definitely a better made movie. I just happen to enjoy Halloween Kills more because I found it more entertaining, and personally, I have less problems with it. So, to start off, thought that the 78 flashback scenes were really well done, and I give props to the filmmakers for bringing us back into that world, so to speak. And I actually really liked that little side story with Lonnie and the scenes with Michael stalking him. And I also enjoyed the Hawkins and Myers backstory that takes place in the old Myers house. And finally, for once, they actually got the Myers house to look great. I'm just glad we didn't get that blue Myers mansion like we got in Halloween 5.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean the Myers mask looked amazing in the flashback scene, and I think the actor that played him really did a good job.
Yeah, totally. I agree, man, for sure. And I agree with you when you say Kills is better. entertaining because it is for sure, man.
Mhm.
Halloween 2018, it looks a little bit more slower,
Yeah.
like because it's of course developing its story. But Halloween Kills, man, is a film that it really is entertaining, man. You know, it has action. It's action packed. You could say, you know, with kills. So I'll definitely give it that for sure, man. Kills had me entertained. You know, has me entertained through the whole watch, man. Not like 2018. You know,
Mhm.
it's a little slow pace, but I agree. Um, as a movie wise, story wise, of course, 2018 wins. But
Mhm.
yeah, Kills entertainment wise, I feel did a great job. It did what it did the job of a sequel. You know, story wise, it not really, but I feel Kills really did a good. The reason I wasn't as disappointed with Kills when it came out, because I remember, man, when Kills came out, everyone like I didn't get it. I didn't get why people were so damn disappointed. I even remember, man, when I
Yeah.
went to go see Kills in the theaters, right when the you know what how when Michael kills Judy Greer and then the last shot is Michael
Yeah.
and it cuts to the end credits. Like right there, man. People, when I watched the theater, people were like literally booed, man. It,
Yeah.
it it was funny, man, because I don't know if people were expecting more, but like I said, I didn't really get it. But
It's funny you mention that because when I went to go see it as well, there's people that are getting up and leaving, like, really early, and they're like, "What is this?" And, like, I didn't really understand it. It's like, to me, it's everything that you want in a Halloween movie. Sure, there was a ton of corny dialogue and a lot of unnecessary scenes, which we're actually gonna get into, but, I mean, you got a great setting. You got the cast that came back for this movie that was in Halloween 2018, of course, and I think they did a pretty decent job, and it was a lot of fun, and it was really entertaining, so I don't really get the issue.
yeah, man. Of course, after rewatching it, yeah, I do have issues with it. But like I was saying, man, I feel Kills did a good job on the reason I kind of had some likeness to it is due to the fact that the flashback scene.
Mhm.
I was expecting that in 2018. Uh,
Yeah, I was too.
yeah, and I'm glad they saved it for Kills, man, because they did a good job. I liked it. It reminded me of 78. The mask was on point. I believe they used a 78 Tots mask, right, for that one, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
I think someone behind the scenes, I'm not sure if it was Christopher Nelson or someone behind the FX team, they actually created a new version of the original mask, so it was an entirely, like, new sculpt just for
Yeah,
that.
brand new scope. Okay, yeah, yeah. I think they did a good job, man.
I do too. We also can't forget about the Doctor Loomis cameo, which was awesome to see, and the FX team did an incredible job on the makeup, I do gotta say.
Yeah, man. I think even the CGI touch ups, they did a good job on
Mhm.
you know you could say recreating Dr. Loomis for the flashback scene. And yeah, man, I think that was probably my favorite thing about Kills, man, is that flashback scene.
For sure.
Even though, of course, it wasn't a lot, but it was still it was still something, and I'm grateful for it, man. So I always got to give it up, man. I remember I when I went to go see Kills, I was kind of
Mhm.
pissed because I got there kind of late. So when I entered the theater, it was the scene where the two cops are barely going into the Myers house. So I kind of skipped like I kind of missed 10 minutes before.
Oh,
So it was disappointing, you know, especially the flashback scene was one of the main things I was looking forward to it. But yeah, man, to me that's one of the most standout scenes in Kills for sure.
for sure, and it's funny that you mentioned the CGI because when I first saw it, I also assumed it was all CGI, but apparently it wasn't, it was all special effects makeup, which is just incredible, and they did a great job with Doctor Loomis's likeness, or Donald Pleasance, in other words.
Really? Oh, so it was all practical, like practical effects, like
Yeah, it
special
was
effects.
all makeup that they applied to just some random guy that happened to be bald, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, I knew that. I knew that. You know that they did makeup, but I thought they kind of did
Did
a
a
little
touch of
CGI,
CGI.
but I
Yeah,
guess not.
yeah, I
But
did too.
either way, man, they did a great job on making him look like Donald Pleasance. You know.
For sure. Of course, it didn't really sound like him too much because, as you all know, Dr. Loomis has a very distinctive voice that's hard to replicate. But I think the voice was pretty close, and it was much better than the one we got in the H2O opening credits.
Yeah, I agree, man, for sure. Yeah, the H2O one was off. I feel more off
Yeah,
than.
it was off. And I also really enjoyed seeing the returning characters like Tommy Doyle, Lindsay Wallace, Marion Chambers, and Lonnie Elam. And I absolutely loved the bar scene where they're all interacting with one another. And then Tommy is talking about the story about the boogeyman and what happened in 1978. And I just thought it was really well done.
Yeah, man, and like I said, even before Kills came out, based on the trailer, I kind of thought it was gonna be better than 2018. Um, I had
Yeah,
a feeling, man, because of course we have our returning characters, Tommy, um, you know, Lindsay. So it was dope, man. And I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait, man. And I like how they kind of introduce their
yeah,
characters, and they kind of tell their story at the bar, I believe so, like on Halloween night.
yeah.
I,
Yeah, the
I thought
movie
that
just
was
gives off a great vibe for sure. Great Halloween vibe.
yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, that's true, very true, man. That's one thing Kills did for sure.
Yeah, another scene that I loved is when Myers is escaping the burning house and murders all the firefighters. It was a really quick scene. I wish it was just a little bit longer, but it was really good. And the shot of him walking out of the house is absolute gold. And the killing montage was also really great.
Yeah, I agree, man. For sure, and that's another one of the main standout scenes in Kills
Hmm.
is the
Oh, you're glitching out again. Just letting you know. I could kind of
out
hear
of
you, but I can't. Um, your image is
all,
frozen. Yeah, still can't hear you. I'll try like reconnect. Oh, I think we're good now.
there we go. There we go.
Okay.
So yeah, man.
Yeah. So what were you saying?
So we were talking about, of course, we were talking about the legacy character.
Oh, you're glitching out again.
That, that's one.
Hold on. I would try reconnecting.
Can you
You're glitching out
hear me?
again. Okay, that's better.
So yeah, man. The firefighter scene, one the most standout scenes for sure, man. It was just dope seeing Myers kill the shit out of all those firefighters, you know. Um, and
Yeah,
and like I said, I like how it picked up right after 2018 ended off, man. For sure. So it kind of filled in that you could say missing missing space. But yeah, I like the scene, even though you could say, uh, I mean, I think that was the point of this Blumhouse of films, man, to make kind of Myers more stronger.
mhm,
So it's a great watch, man. Entertainment wise, the kills definitely they stepped their game up. The gore for sure, man.
definitely, man. And another scene that I loved was the chase scene with Marion. Um, or was it Marion? Was it? No, it wasn't Marion Chambers. I'm sorry. It was Lindsay. The chase scene with Lindsay. I
Yeah,
thought it was one of the best parts of the movie, and there was a lot of good tension during that scene, especially when she was running from him in the woods and hid near the creek where Myers was crossing the bridge, and we could just hear his breathing through the mask. I thought that was all really good stuff.
yeah. You're talking about like when they kind of reach to like kind of the park area, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I like that scene, and also one great thing I will say about this whole trilogy, the Easter eggs are great, man. There's a lot of great Easter eggs in these films.
oh,
Like that scene in particular, we had like the H3 masks, huh? When they found like the dead bodies on the.
yeah. I love that callback. That was really cool.
Yeah, and they did the same thing in 2018. You know, with like the trick or treaters, they were wearing the masks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree, man, for sure. I wasn't the biggest fan of like the new, you know, the newer characters, like the ones that were like dressed up like as nurses and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. They were kinda like side characters, they had minor roles. I didn't mind them personally, but they were just there for a death count.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't even think it's like their character. I just feel it's the writing. It's
It's the writing,
the
yeah.
dialogue. I feel it really kind of you know, kind of ruined it in a way. And we're
Mm,
gonna get into the iconic corniest line from this film.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was the main thing. Issue with Kills, man, for me it is the whole, a lot of stuff they wasted their time. They could have honestly did a better job, like story structured. But I get it, man. It's a fun movie,
Mhm.
and it did that. It definitely did that.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be like one of those guilty pleasure type of movies, kind of like Halloween 5 is, I guess, but, it's definitely one that I'm gonna pop in and thoroughly enjoy, so, I enjoyed it for what it was. And I also really liked the scene with the old couple with the drone, and I thought that their death scene was gruesome, you know? I won't lie,
Yeah,
when that old dude said the line, "There's someone in our bathroom, and he's wearing a monster mask," and then the woman goes, "Well, what the hell does he want?" And he just goes, "Who gives a shit? Call the cops." Like, I'm not gonna lie,
yeah,
dude, I actually laughed, that was funny.
yeah,
It was a funny moment for sure, and obviously, this type of moment doesn't belong in a Halloween film, but they actually got the humor right for once this time around, you know? And another moment that made me laugh is when Little John passes by the mirror and he just turns to it and goes, "Huh." Like, I started laughing like crazy, you know?
yeah, man. Yeah, that's one thing for sure. Especially with the characters you're bringing up. You know, like the couple.
Yeah,
That was actually funny. You know, that's
yeah,
humor done right.
right
You
for
know,
sure.
so for sure, yeah, you could say it had more funnier, uh, humor than 2018. You know, because 2018 kind of was more cheesy, but yeah, for sure. Because I remember even cracking up in the theater with everyone else. You know, in those
Yeah,
scenes.
definitely, definitely. Uh, Obviously, the hospital scene with the mob thinking that one of the inmates remember the one that looked like Danny DeVito, the stuffy guy?
Yeah,
Yeah, like, how could they think he's Michael Myers? It's just so dumb because in one scene, they actually show an actual picture of Michael Myers' his face on the television,
on the
and
TV. Yeah,
on the TV, and Tommy Doyle's looking right at it, so I don't know why he thought that the Danny DeVito guy with the umbrella was Michael Myers, like, how can that be?
yeah, man. I feel that was lazy writing for sure.
Yeah, and also I know the movie really wanted to focus on mob mentality, which is a little too political for me personally, and I think that kind of killed the vibe a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. That I feel you on that one, man. Because I remember like that whole mob perspective kind of reminded me of H4. You know how in
Yeah,
H4 they kind of did that, man. But it kind of yeah, I don't think it was necessary.
mhm,
Um, but I get why they would have it in there because I don't know, maybe it has to be a group of people to really kill the shape, which obviously didn't.
yeah,
Um, which is another interesting thing we're gonna talk about.
mhm.
Where he gets beat up. But yeah, I agree, man, for sure. They kind. I feel like they kind of try to pack in too much in one.
I agree, the movie felt a little disjointed, and it felt like it was going from one area to the next, like, all of a sudden, you know? But
Yeah,
another thing I wanted to touch on again is the Big John and Little John scenes, because I know a lot of people, complained, but in my opinion, I thought they were fine. Sure, they were comical and silly, but someone had to live in that Myers house, in that span of time, and
yeah,
I actually liked the scene when the trick-or-treaters tricked them by pretending that their friend choked on a razor blade, and then they steal their candy. I thought all that stuff was great, and it kind of reminded me of the movie Trick or Treat that came out in 2007.
yeah. True, I see that.
Yeah. But again, the Big John, Little John stuff didn't bother me too much, you know? I thought they were funny.
They were, and that's another scene that the humor was done right. They could have easily like make it different, make it more cringy, but even those two characters, man, they were really like I like how it was them who are the owners of the Myers house. I thought hey they the owners are some pretty cool people, you know. So
Mhm.
yeah, I didn't mind their characters neither, man. You know, of course they're in there for few humor here and there, but I think it was better. It was better this time though, for sure.
I definitely felt like in this movie, the humor was more appropriate than the
Right.
last movie.
Yeah, it might have been a little more.
Mhm.
It could have been a little bit more over the top, especially with the Evil Dice Tonight stuff. But like, for example, the couple scene, the Little John Big Jog scene, I think that's good humor, man. I think that's how they were supposed to approach it.
But the thing about the Evil Dies Tonight thing, I don't think that was intentionally supposed to be funny, but us fans think it's funny because of how ridiculous it is and how
Exactly.
cringy
Yeah.
it is.
And it'll be, I don't know, man. It's kind of ridiculous if they really want, like, if they didn't meant for us to take that serious. Of course not.
Mhm.
I mean, I get it, man. I get it. Like, you could say one good thing about Kills. It's the whole Haddonfield. It's like these people are coming together as a community.
Yeah.
You know, the city, the mob. They're trying to hunt down the evil, of course, that's been doing damage to their little town for over 40 years, man. So, I kind of get that, man. But for them to kind of take it over the top, like two, three times, I get it.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, for them to keep repeating it and then for them to waste 30 minutes of literally the movie on this little midget patient that obviously is not Myers, like, I don't know, man. I feel that that was probably one of the worst scenes in Kills.
Honestly, a majority of the stuff that happened in the hospital is ironically the worst part of that movie, you know? Because in Halloween 2, the best part of the everything that happened in that movie was the stuff in the hospital. Now it's complete opposite.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Yeah.
That's very
Also,
true.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and you know, I kind of like the fact that Lori took a back seat in this. You
Yeah.
know how she was in the hospital throughout the whole movie. She kind of took a back seat in this, and they you could say Allison, and then the boyfriend, and then of course the legacy characters like Tommy. They kind of carried on the film, so I didn't mind that neither, man.
Yeah, I didn't mind her taking a backseat. I know a lot of people complain, it's like, "Where's Jamie Lee Curtis?" It's like, we all know she's coming for the next film anyways. You know, it's nice. It's a breath of fresh air to focus on, like, Tommy, Lindsay, and everybody like that, you know?
Yeah.
Also, I thought the showdown with Allison and Michael that took place in the Myers house was phenomenal. I liked it a lot. And when Cameron got killed on the staircase, that was really intense.
Oh yeah, man. That was, I think, one of the best kills for sure. Um, yeah, it was intense, man, for sure. I remember kind of the theater feeling.
Yeah, I love that whole scene, and then when Karen walked in and stabbed Michael in the back with the pitchfork, I really wasn't expecting that to happen.
Yeah, same, man, same. Yeah, of course. The Judy Greer character intervenes. And of course that's when she takes off the mask, right?
Yeah, and then she
And
takes off the mask.
yeah, she's like holding the mask, which was kind of off, but of course that was kind of like the setup for the beatdown.
Yeah, I don't know why in these movies they love taking the mask off him so much.
I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if they're trying to if James Jude Corney's trying to have more face screen time.
Yeah,
Who knows? But yeah, hey, I think these films we seen Myers unmasked the most for sure.
definitely. So just a question, what did you think about the Myers beatdown scene? Did you like that?
I mean, it kind of at first I didn't mind it because it's what's expected to happen. Of course,
Mhm.
let's say there's a serial killer out in your town or something. Of course, let's say, of course, the police can't really do nothing.
Yeah.
These people in this town kind of like take it on under their hands, you know. um
Mhm.
and that's kind of like I didn't mind it, you know. Like it's like the like in reality that's what would happen, you know. In some places, you know, people as a town would get together and hunt this
Yeah.
criminal down or killer
Especially a
down.
small town like that.
Yeah, but so I didn't mind it, man. Because yeah, I can't. It's a reality, you could say. But of course, when Myers gets up, and I know it's entertainment, I know it's a movie, and of course we have ends still. Of course, that wasn't gonna be his final death, man. But
Mhm.
I don't know. It was just kind of off, man. For the and of course at this point, Michael's not really. Um, he's not immortal, you know. He's because
Yeah.
I remember with 2018, man, they kind of made it look like he was human, but I guess they
Oh,
kind of
human.
lost their
And this one,
idea
they're all
in
yeah.
midway.
Yeah, and this one they go all out, and they basically confirm he's supernatural, and even Laurie says it a bunch of times throughout the film.
Yeah, so it was off, man. But I mean, hey, it's badass though. The way
Yeah.
he kills the shit. He like it's dope, man. I don't think we've never seen Myers this violent. Of course, other than the Rob Zombie films, which I think were more gory
Mhm.
than violent. I could be wrong, but yeah, this one I think yeah, Michael was brutal, man. He was a badass in this one. So yeah, Michael always for kills as well. My favorite thing about kills for sure. How about you? Did you like that the beatdown scene?
Yeah, I actually didn't mind the beatdown scene. We actually never saw a scene like this in the Halloween franchise before, and I thought it was really cool, and it was a breath of fresh air, you know?
Yeah, and that's why I liked it too, man. Because I don't think we've seen that before, you know.
Yeah, I think maybe the scene would have worked better at the end of a trilogy, but it was still really cool to see. And when I first watched it, I didn't like the scene because I thought it made Myers look weak, meaning like when I was first viewing it. But now I absolutely love the scene because I know that Myers is going to kill them all after, so it's all well and good.
Yeah, and it just shows that Myers. It's funny. It shows that Myers is unstoppable, man.
Yeah,
But of course, we get Halloween ends, and like I don't get it, man. How the hell did my and of course, actually I do get it. Myers got his ass beat by the mob,
hmm
so of course he and I get why he would be. He's not as strong in ends. That's why he's kind of
but we got to
because
remember too, Michael got up and started killing everybody and was like an unstoppable force, and then he ended up killing Karen too. So it's like, why is he an washed up old man living in a tunnel, or where was he, in a sewer? Like, I don't get that.
yeah,
We're
man.
gonna talk more about that too.
Yeah, so that's what I don't get, man. How the hell did Myers go from this killing beast to here?
Yeah,
It's really
unfortunate.
weird, man. Like I don't know. I think I still like Myers and Kills,
Yeah, me
even
too.
though of course they kind of took it to the next level, but I still enjoyed it, man, for sure. So
For sure.
Kills is a good entertainment film.
I agree. So one more thing about kills. What did you think about them killing off a lot of the OG characters like Tommy, Lonnie, and Marion?
That was another one of my main issues, man, because I felt like it was like me. I was expecting more. Of course,
hmm
they're returning legacy characters, so I was expecting more. And for them to, especially Tommy, I was expecting
Yeah.
way more from Tommy.
hmm
And for them to kill him off like that, man, it was just disappointing, man. Like I dislike it. Um, I think they could have at least saved Tommy for maybe him come back for ends, but
Just
they
because.
should have done way more, man. I was disappointed with that, honestly.
Absolutely agree, for sure. I wasn't happy with the way they killed all of them. I wish Tommy survived because I actually really liked his character a lot in this film, and same with Lonnie. I think the actor that played Lonnie did a fantastic job, and he's a good actor. At least Tommy and Lonnie's death were somewhat heroic, though, in a way.
Yeah,
But on the other hand, they kind of made Marion Chambers' death into a joke, like by her saying, "This is for Dr. Loomis," and then her clicking the gun and the safety's on. It's like, what's up with that? Like, why do they got to disrespect her character like that?
Yeah, man. It's just that whole scene, her death scene in the truck, right? In the car.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just like, I don't know. It was kind of like silly. I don't know, but especially Marion being a
Hmm.
returning character, for her to get killed like that. I was like, what? Like, I
So
don't know. I
disappointing.
don't get it. I don't get it. Like I get that they're returning characters, but why kill them off, man? You know?
Exactly. I thought Marion's death in H2O was much better.
Yeah.
At least
True.
she put
Yeah.
up more of a fight, I guess.
Yeah. I feel. Yeah. I feel that was lazy writing too, man.
For sure.
It doesn't matter if she's a side character or whatever. She's not a main character, but she's a returning legacy character, man. So I don't get it. You know?
Yeah. And the thing with Tommy, it's like he played a pretty pivotal role in the original. You know, he was a pretty important character. Now, I understand if they want to kill off Lonnie. He didn't really have much screen time. He was an additional character. That's fine if they want to kill him off. But Tommy, I feel like they should have uh he should have survived and he should have been in Halloween Ends.
I agree. Yeah, yeah. And I wasn't even expecting for Lani to come back, man. I don't even think his role, because he was a side role.
Yeah.
So
But I actually like what they did with his character a lot, and I love how they tied in his experiences with the flashbacks, and then pretty much everything that goes on in contemporary times. They kinda connected the 2, and I like that a lot.
yeah, a good connection to the original for sure. So yeah, I was even surprised, kind of, man, when even knowing Lonnie returned.
Mhm.
Um, Especially, I know he was in that one classic scene from the original.
Yeah,
It was good, and of course, he's another one I feel carried on the movie.
I agree.
Because yeah, it was interesting because he was Cameron's dad, right?
Mhm. Yep,
Yeah, so the connection is there for sure, man. So I think they did a good job on connecting the dots, but it could have been executed better, man. With the deaths and stuff like that. The legacy
absolutely.
characters' deaths.
Yeah, absolutely. But now I think we're ready to talk about, the most recent installment in the series, and that is Halloween Ends.
Halloween ends, man. Whew.
So, this is my first time hearing your thoughts on Halloween Ends, so I'll let you start it off.
Okay, so Halloween ends, man. Uh, I of course, before it came out, everyone was negative towards it.
Mhm.
Of course, we all knew it wasn't gonna be as great as the previous two. But of course, me, man, I still had, you could say, a little hope. I went
Mhm.
to go see it, man, and I mean, my first watching, man, I liked it.
Mhm.
Um, what It's a flawed movie, man, for sure. Of course, during that first watch, I caught a lot of issues, but overall, my first watch, I liked it. I thought it was
Mhm.
decent. I rewatched it, man, for the second time, and then that's when I was like, what, like, I I kind of
Caught more things.
caught more things, yeah, and I feel like, because I think I watched it 3 or 4 times as of
Mm,
now, and
yeah,
and I feel like each watch I dislike it more.
for sure.
The
That's actually how I felt about the Child's Play 2019 remake, just to change gears. When I first watched it, I actually liked it a lot, and I was so hyped for the movie that I actually bought a buddy doll and everything like that. But then I
Yeah,
got to study the movie more, and the more I watched it, the more I'm like, this is not really original. They're not doing anything really inventive. Other than, like, the AI stuff, and it was cheaply done, and it's like a cheap ripoff of the original movie, you know? It's not really a remake per se. It's more of like a reimagining. So, yeah, I could
true.
see where you're coming from with Halloween Ends for sure.
Yeah, man, and don't get me wrong, man. The main issue with this ends film is the whole changing point. The whole, of course, we see something we've never seen in a in a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Um, and I didn't mind that, man. At first, I didn't mind that. I know a lot of people don't really like the Corey character. I think, of course, his character carried on the movie because he was mostly the one we followed, the one we got to know. Pretty much the main character of the movie, man, is a Corey.
It was basically
Um,
a character study of Corey.
yeah, and I didn't mind his character, man. Like I said, I think it was a good way to, you could say, do something fresh. So like the whole movie, I was entertained. Not Halloween Kills entertained,
Mhm.
but there was, you could say, a little story going there, of course, with Corey and then his connection to the Strodes, and of course, Corey is being blamed for killing the kid. That
Mhm.
opening scene, man, was great. I really liked it.
I agree. I agree. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, man. I think when I first saw it in the theater, I think it's a great way to set up the movie, if you ask me.
Yeah. So, in my honest opinion, I think the movie was a complete and utter disaster. And personally, I don't know what the filmmakers were smoking when they were making this movie and when it was in production. The
Yeah,
fact that the filmmakers made the creative choice to focus on an entirely new character at the end of a trilogy and sideline Michael Myers was absolutely disgraceful. And I don't think I could ever forgive them for that, if I'm being honest.
yeah, true,
And
very
also,
true, man.
yeah, I also don't buy the fact that Laurie Strode can just put the past behind her after everything that went down in Halloween Kills. Half the town was wiped out by Myers, including her own daughter. So, if anything, that should have made her more anxious and gave her even more PTSD. And the fact that it didn't is just ridiculous.
That's very true, man. That's very true. Yeah. Overall, like I said, the more times I watch it, I really dislike it, man, because it really, I don't know, man. Like you said
Mhm.
about the Corey character, that should have been like, this movie would have worked if it was a sequel. Ending movie, final movie in this trilogy, it's a terrible way to go, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't know what these freaking people were smoking, what they were thinking, man. But for them to kind of like a new character last trilogy, like they should have, I feel, done that for Kills. But of course, the whole Corey and Myers idea, I
Mhm.
don't think it was. It never worked since the beginning, man. Because that's not the shape. That's
Sure.
not Michael Myers. So the fact that they had kind of Corey fill in his shoes in this film was disrespectful to me, to me, man. Because like even the interactions the with Corey and Michael, man, like what the hell, like.
It's like, what are they doing? Because I understand it's kind of Halloween Kills' fault in a way because they're the one that introduced the idea of Michael Myers transcending and changing shape. But I
Yeah,
didn't think they were gonna go this far to do something like this, you know?
yeah, man, and it's kind of like in the similar lines of like possession, huh? Like, so it was really, it was off, man. Like,
It's just like Christine with the possession of the car and all that.
yeah, yeah, exact same case, man. Like Myers is running this kid, like he's controlling this kid, man. And I don't know if it's because Michael kind of feels, I don't know, man. It was it was weird. It was really weird because, like I said, it was out of the ordinary for a Halloween film.
Mhm.
And yeah, it didn't feel like a Halloween film at all, man. It felt like just
Felt like a
a
bad
Corey
HBO
movie.
movie or something.
Yeah, man, that's very true. And like, yeah, like I said, the Corey character development, they did a good job with that. But he really wasn't necessary, man. Um,
Agree.
honestly.
Yeah. I also think another issue with this movie was the 4-year time jump. I think this was a
Oh,
huge mistake. They could have easily picked this movie up right after where Kills left off, but they chose to go in a completely different direction. God knows why. I don't know why. But every time I think of Halloween Kills and I see the extended scene of Lori walking out of the hospital with a knife in her hand, I'm
yeah.
the biggest question is like, where the hell did she go? Where did you go after that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
It
yeah.
makes no fucking sense. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. Again, like I said, the movie just felt like a bad HBO movie. that you'd rent for like $10. It didn't feel like a Halloween movie at all. I understand that people are gonna like argue with me and be like, well, it's supposed to be like an anthology movie. It's like I understand that. I understand. But here's the thing. I understand that they wanted to do a character study on Corey. I get that. And they wanted to do a unique anthology movie just like Halloween 3. But they can't experiment with that at the end of a freaking trilogy when they're trying to wrap up a story, you know? They did a whole character study on this guy just to kill him off at the end. It's just terrible.
It was pointless, man. If you ask me, the whole movie was pointless, and like you said, the whole 4 year jump, it's just pointless, man. Don't get me wrong. I think they did a better job, like I mentioned earlier, with Laurie's character. You know, she's more aware. She's not as paranoid. She's like moved on, and it's kind
Uh,
of strange, man, because like after all this, like in 2018, you were paranoid from one night,
yeah,
and then years later, like your daughter's killed, like and she has a memoir. Like
and
I
she moved
get it,
on,
you
yeah.
know, people move on with their lives, but
But
it
not
was
after that
just
kind of traumatic event.
exact. Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah. And it was just like I don't know, man. It was just it was really off, man. And yeah, and then the whole Corey, like they threw Corey last minute to kill him off. So it was really like kind of pointless, man.
Yeah,
If
I
you
agree.
ask me.
The movie was definitely a slow burn type of movie, but that's the wrong choice for this film because Halloween and Halloween Kills were both very fast paced. So this movie should have even been even faster than those movies, you know? This is the end of a trilogy we're talking about.
Yeah, man, and the third movie is always like the most, you could say, intense, more. Even though the third movie of a trilogy is usually the weakest one, but it's more, you could say, more like they end it in a good note. But
Mhm.
not with this one, man. I feel this was just a great, like a big disrespect to the Halloween legacy and Myers, man, for sure.
Definitely. I
I
do
really
think
don't get it.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh no, no, I just said like I don't get it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Eh,
I was gonna say, I do think the character of Corey Cunningham was somewhat interesting, and the actor did do a good job of playing him, so no disrespect to him at all.
yeah,
But I felt that his presence wasn't needed in this film at all. This should have been saved for maybe like a show called like The Story of Haddonfield or something, and do like an anthology TV show. Like I
like
think
the
that would,
side story. Yeah,
yeah, that would have worked better for something like that. I would have been fine with that, but again, not at the end of a trilogy.
yeah. I think that was a really poor decision they did, man, for them to do that. Um, what do you think about the whole Jamie Lee Curtis being like an executive producer on this? Like, I guess she had like creative control for ends.
Yeah. So I know it was confirmed that Jamie Lee Curtis had some involvement with this movie, and it really shows because I actually remember watching an interview with her, and she said that Michael Myers is pretty much an irrelevant character or something like that. And it's not really about Michael Myers, it's about Laurie, which is total bullshit. It's complete bullshit. People don't go to these movies just to see Jamie Lee Curtis, they go to see Michael Myers, the most infamous killer in cinema, you know?
Right.
But you can definitely tell she's had some involvement with it. You know, she wanted this film to be divisive. She's openly talked about that. She wants to divide the fandom, which I don't get personally. I don't know why you would wanna divide your fans, but she said she wanted to, and I don't approve.
Hey, man, I just like when she was saying that it's gonna have fans pissed,
Mhm.
it's gonna divide the fans. Like yeah, man, and you know what? I didn't even know she was executive producer on this film. Well, of course, before the film came out, I've heard her say, Ends is gonna like kind of have to deal with more of like what did she say? Like today's uh like kind of feel more
Current events
real kind
almost?
of, and and so she kind of talked about it before the movie came out, but I didn't know she was like she had creative control until I saw the movie because of course in the opening credits, like I read, I actually pay attention to that too.
Yeah, I do
And
too.
Yeah, and I was surprised, man, that it said executive producer Jamie Lee Curtis. I was like, wow. And then I eventually did my movie review, and then some I actually found out on the comments. You know, one of you
Mhm.
guys on my live streams told me that the whole damn movie was her damn idea about the whole Corey and all that. So pretty much David Gordon Green's main vision for Ends was not the one that we got, from
Yeah.
what I'm
I
hearing.
I still wanna know why they didn't pick up after Kills because I think that was originally their intent. It was supposed to take place on the same night, but maybe Jamie Lee Curtis had something to do with the creative choice and decided to go against it and told the studios and everything. Who knows? That could be the case, but I really don't know the details.
Yeah, and I think I even heard, man, that Ends was going to take place the same night,
Mhm.
but then I guess it didn't.
It really should have,
Yeah, and yeah, I wasn't. If that's true, if that's the case, man, I think that's a big. It's just disappointing from Jamie Lee Curtis, man. Like, especially on an ending on ending of a trilogy, of a classic franchise.
for sure. And I know another big issue that I have with the Corey Cunningham character in particular is that he's a 21-year-old guy, a grown adult, I might add, who's getting picked on and pushed around by high school students. They're not even like football jocks. They're like kids from the marching band. It's like, who wrote this shit?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because Corey is a grown man,
Yeah,
and I don't get it, man. Yeah, it was just terrible, terrible writing, man. Um, but it was just really weird. And then the whole wrestling, Corey Michael,
oh yeah, oh my
that
god.
did it for me, man. Honestly, I
Yeah,
was
the
like,
fact the fact that they chose to make Myers look weak and have him living in a sewer for 4 years after he was basically Terminator in Halloween Kills is just a joke. Very disrespectful to an iconic character, and, it's just really unfortunate. That's all I really have to say about it. Bullshit.
yeah, true, man. I think it was probably the worst Halloween movie. What do you think?
I still think,
Like,
uh
there's shitty films
yeah,
in the series, man, but they're really, you could say, memorable in some way.
yeah, for sure. It's definitely one of the bad ones in the series. It's really low on my list. Probably say the worst in the series is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, then Resurrection, and then this movie's right behind it.
Yeah, how many times have you seen it as of now?
One time.
Just one time? Yeah,
One
yeah.
time. I couldn't watch it again. I really couldn't. I couldn't get myself to do it.
Yeah, man. I feel you, man, for sure. Cause it's hard to watch, man. Like, it hurts to watch.
No,
Like, the last time I saw it, I only seen it 3 4 times. Last time I saw it, I turned it off halfway, I think, man, because I couldn't. It hurts. It hurts to watch.
for sure. And also another thing that I thought was really ironic was the fact that David Gordon Green chose to retcon all the Halloween movies, after the first, of course. But yet, when he's making Halloween Ends, he's pretty much retconning 2018 and Kills.
Yeah.
It's like, what story is he trying to tell? I don't understand. I'm really frustrated with the choices that they made for this movie.
Yeah, that's true. It's like if the previous ones didn't really exist, man.
Yeah, it's like they intentionally made this movie just to displease the fans and split the fandom.
Yeah, I think that's the most dumb thing they could make, man. Yeah, it was just unnecessary. I wouldn't mind if it was just 2018 and Kills. Leave it
Same,
at that.
same. Yeah. My friend and I were just talking about that. We both agreed ends didn't need to happen. If I would have preferred to see a great ends, honestly. But the fact that they made a shitty ends, I kind of don't consider it canon in my mind.
Yeah, like it doesn't exist. Yeah, yeah,
Like pretty much the ending that I know is when Michael kills Karen by the window and that's it.
yeah.
But honestly, just out of curiosity, I know the movie's a shit show and it's terrible. We all know that. But do you have like a favorite scene, I guess, or a scene that stuck out to you that you enjoyed
Uh,
besides the opening?
On the positive side, I will say you could kind of say the scene where Corey kind of gets for the first time,
Hmm.
the mask.
Oh yeah, the Scarecrow mask. I actually do like that mask.
Yeah, like that's when he kills the nurse, right? The nurse.
Yeah, I believe so. Was that when he killed? That was Allison's coworker or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
in like the mansion, and then like they. That's one thing too that I saw strange. Like the kills, like there's like two kills in this movie where it's Corey and Michael as a teamwork.
yeah. It's strange.
I thought that was freaking dumb, man. But yeah, I like that. I like that scene right there. When when he kills the nurse,
Yeah,
when they're in the mansion. Um, and I can't really think of another man other than the opening scene, man.
yeah. I can't either, man.
Like
Uh,
like on the positive side, don't get me wrong. These freaking like the wrestling, they stick out, man. But of course that's negative. I'm trying to find something positive, but I really can't,
it's
man.
hard to think of one, right?
Yeah, of course Michael has great shots. Of course he's really like kind of he really like doesn't really do much in this, but of course the cinematography, the shots of Michael is always dope. And the new design of the mask, I know it's similar to Kills, the burned effect,
I
but
like it
yeah, same. I think in ends it's a little bit more, of course, more aged. The burn is more aged, but
for sure. And there's like a lot of rusting on it and like debris and all that stuff. I thought it's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah, I liked it. Yeah, what mask do you like better, Kills or ends? It's
I
kind of
gotta
a hard
say,
one for
yeah,
me.
it's hard. In terms of Trick or Treat Studios, I would say ends, but in terms of movie, I'd say kills because I
Uh,
just love that burned effect. It looks so good.
Same here, man. Same here. Yeah, cause when like I think about that question, I could only think about my Tots masks,
Yeah,
But yeah, in I think in the films, I think the Kills one looks better because it's like freshly burned. You could say
yeah, for sure.
it kind of does. You could say stand out more, but yeah, I like the ends mask as well.
Yeah, and the ends mask also has like mold on it and stuff, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, it adds to like the like the burn effect, the ageness.
And I'm not gonna lie, I laughed when Michael Myers was kind of having a seizure with the knife. It's like what? And listen, I'm not faulting James Jude Courtney because I know that wasn't his creative decision. He's just there to do a job, and he did it well. I'm not faulting him. It's the creative decision behind it. Why you got to make Michael Myers like that? You know?
Exactly, man. I mean, James Jude Corney already proved himself with 2018, man. I don't think
Oh yeah,
he has to prove himself again. So of course that's not his decision. That's not like he wanted to. I'm pretty sure. I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure he kind of is disappointed,
yeah.
after the fact.
Hmm.
Cause
I'm
yeah,
sure
it
like
sucks.
Andy.
Imagine going from Terminator to here, man.
I know. I was just gonna say, imagine how Andy Matichak is feeling too. I'm sure she's not thrilled about the creative decisions behind this movie either.
I feel that too, man. I feel like most of them, cause yeah, it's just like the reception, the it was the worst out of the three. So
Yeah,
and it's just it's kind of embarrassing and a bad look um for it to be a final ending movie.
for sure. And did you notice? Are you familiar with We Watched a Movie?
The YouTube channel, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did an interview with Andy, right?
yeah. They did two interviews with them, and they didn't do a third one. I wonder why.
All right, man. I guess they weren't really trying to show their face like that for this for
No, I guess they weren't happy with the movie, or maybe she wasn't happy with the movie and didn't want to talk badly about it. Could go both
yeah, yeah.
ways.
That's true, man. Because I mean, who would talk bad about their movie?
Yeah, but honestly, I can't really tell you what my favorite scene is in the movie. I guess it would have to be the opening because for a moment I thought they were actually going to take this movie in an interesting direction, but the movie fell right on its face. And maybe another one, like you mentioned, is the scene when Myers killed the girl with the red hair. I believe it was Allison's coworker or something like that. I thought that
Yeah,
scene was decent, but that's about it. I really can't name another scene that I actually liked. The whole movie was just a cringe fest.
yeah, man. I agree, man. Agree, and like I wouldn't even pop it in, man. Like now, like
Yeah,
like when I first saw it, man. I'm telling you, I kind of liked it because I don't know, maybe because it was different. Maybe it wasn't like the same cycle all over, but it's still a poor decision to make for for a Halloween movie, you know?
definitely poorly executed. And of course, like what you talked about earlier, the scene with Myers wrestling Corey for his mask was just ridiculous. What were they thinking? And even the shot looked weird too. It looked out of place. They made Myers look kind of small because it was from a weird angle. So
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, it was dumb. It was dumb, man. So yeah, Ends is probably, yeah, of course, the worst from the trilogy. Um, but it definitely like I wasn't even a fan of how they supposedly ended Michael, how they killed him. You know how they throw him in like a dweller or something
Yeah, it
to
was like
crush his body.
yeah, it was like a shredder, like a
Yeah, something. I thought that was kind of dumb too, man. I don't know.
yeah, definitely. Also, the romance between Allison and Corey was just so out of place. You know, they had no chemistry on screen at all, and their relationship didn't feel organic. It felt rushed.
It felt, yeah, it felt like kind of like yeah, yeah, like too forced. I don't know. It just wasn't. It wasn't like the chemistry, the energy wasn't there. You know, I
Yeah, for
feel
sure.
was just. It felt like two freaking strangers, man.
It
Like
did.
dealing with each other, but
Yeah,
they could have gone a whole another direction, you know, with Ends.
definitely.
But it's a cringe fest, man. Like you said,
Also, the final showdown
it's
with
crazy,
Lori and
man.
Michael was just so underwhelming. They like Michael and Lori during that ending showdown. They literally stabbed each other a few times, and then Lori threw a fridge on him and unmasked him, and then killed him with like corny ass dialogue. And that's all we got. It's like, really? That's how you're gonna end this trilogy?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
cringe.
It felt even the marketing, the promotion. It felt they were setting up for a Michael versus Laurie type of thing.
Hmm.
But I was expecting a little more from that showdown. You know,
Definitely false advertisement for sure.
for real. But I mean, it wasn't as bad. You know, seeing their Michael and Laurie's final showdown, but yeah, it was just too like I don't know, like too applied. I don't know.
2018 definitely did it better.
Yeah, I agree. And even though 2018 was a little bit, you could say less, not as dramatic, intense, but it was definitely executed better, man, without a doubt, for sure. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really. I feel like I forget ends exist. I just yeah, I just forget it exists sometimes, man.
That's
You
why I
know?
held off on talking about it for so long because it's like I don't want to like really talk about it.
Yeah, man. It's just I mean we've been saying pretty much the same thing. None really much else to say about this you know, terrible film, man. I kind of like Rob Zombie H2 better, man. Honestly, I'd
Yeah,
rather watch that.
that's fair. That's fair. I might have to like reevaluate my rankings now that this movie came out and
Yeah,
rewatch all of them
same.
together and do a definitive ranking. But yeah, this movie's not good.
At all, at all.
Yeah.
So
Also, the procession scene. Do you remember that scene where they're all walking in the streets of Haddonfield with Myers on top of the car? He's like tied up and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
It's just so odd. And then they threw Myers in an industrial shredder, like you talked about. It was just so over the top and dramatic.
yeah. They literally got the whole damn Haddonfield to come out to get out of bed to
Yeah,
witness this.
so
It was strange. I like how they showed the kid from 2018,
yeah, I like that.
Julian. That was dope because he disappeared and one of the most interesting characters. So I like that. Yeah, that was pretty dope. You know, I
Mhm.
think you could say as a Haddonfield, I think that's what they would do. But it was too dramatic for
It was.
what?
It was.
You know?
But honestly, I'd say this Blumhouse Halloween trilogy was worth it in my opinion because we got 2 decent movies out of 3, you know?
Yeah,
And I think that Halloween 2018 and Kills are far better movies than movies like Halloween 5, 6, Resurrection, and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah,
But, obviously, 2018 Kills, they, weren't the best movies in the world, but they should have hired better writers and directors to bring on board. But, they were still a good time, and they were a lot of fun to watch in theaters, so I'll always have those memories, which is really nice.
yeah.
And, 2018 and Kills are pretty rewatchable, so I'm glad I, like, have them for the collection and everything like that, so
Yeah, man, for sure. For me, you could say it was worth it, even though the two of the films were the weaker ones. I think it was worth it. Like I said, even though Blumhouse wasn't the right choice for Halloween,
Mhm,
it was worth it, man, because you could say we got two decent films, one shitty film, of course, and of course we got a new look of Myers, which was great, a new actor to uh give us a performance of the shape.
definitely.
So I think in that overall, I think it was worth it, and even at the box office they were successful. Well, at least the first two. Um, so yeah, it was worth it. Like I
Yeah,
said, maybe wrong choice of studio, wrong choice of writers, but we could say it was worth it.
for sure, and it actually spawned a lot of fan films that were created, like the Halloween Inferno film, so if it wasn't for the success of 2018 and Kills, we would have never gotten those type of movies to enjoy on YouTube.
Yeah, because now after that, everyone is excuse me, everyone is like trying to use that formula, like the direct sequel formula,
Mhm,
which it could work. It could work. It might not work for everything, but I think for Halloween, you could say it worked. Of course, the main intent for Blumhouse Halloween was to do a direct sequel only, and I
mhm.
guess they decided to do a trilogy since it was successful. Um, but I mean, yeah, to me, Halloween 2 always the true direct sequel. But yeah, I don't think these films are the worst, of course.
Yeah, again, 2018 and Kills are pretty rewatchable, which is good, but it's a real shame Ends kind of fucked everything up because we could have gotten a decent Halloween trilogy, you know? But,
Yeah,
I feel like this franchise is just cursed with bad movies. We're bound to get one.
yeah, man. I mean, if they were to do a remake after this, who knows? But I mean, I don't know. It's just I really don't see what they could do after this other than like a reboot or something.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I know the rights, to the Halloween franchise go back to the Akkad estate, so there could potentially be new Halloween movies down the line. But if that's the case, I really think they should step away from the Laurie Strode storyline and introduce new characters that we've never seen before and just have Michael be Michael, he could still be his own character.
Yeah, new storyline, new characters, nothing to do with legacy characters.
Yeah, for sure. Just have Michael Myers in it, introduce a new cast, give us a really cool story, and fans will be happy. That's all we want.
Yeah, man, that's true. And I hope they do that. I hope they do that. I hope they don't recycle too much.
But again, the chances of that happening are very slim. But who knows? One could
Yeah,
only hope for.
yeah, man. We just gotta wait and see what's next for the Halloween franchise.
But
You
yeah,
know,
um,
in the meantime, we're gonna get other good films, horror films.
yeah. So that's all I have to say about these movies.
But
But
yeah, man. I mean, overall, decent trilogy.
mhm.
Stick to the first two. Halloween Ends you could
Skip
watch
ends.
for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, man. I mean, that's gonna be pretty much it. I think that's about all I have to say about this trilogy. Uh, just the main thing about this trilogy, like I said before, is James Corney Myers,
Mhm.
the soundtrack, 2018 soundtrack, Kill soundtrack and soundtrack, pretty good. But I don't think it beats that first one, man. It was just too dope.
Absolutely. I agree. But I think we should read some of these live chats.
Yeah, man. Oh, really? That's
Yeah, we
right.
got a bunch.
Yeah, yeah. We were just talking. So we got Hello.
Maybe we should start from the top and then go all the way down.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I guess I'll start. Machete Slasher says, "Yo." Toxic Tune says David Gordon Green should have done 2018 and be left alone and maybe get a different director to do Kills and Ends. I think Kills and Ends were rushed. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with that more.
Yep. Yep.
Halloween kill scene with that mental patient got me so annoying. I think they added that scene just to kill time for the movie. It's totally unnecessary, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking.
Probably the worst scene in the whole
Yeah, with the Danny
thing.
DeVito guy, I don't get what they were going for with that. Probably some political bullshit, but I'm not gonna say anymore.
Halloween End sucks. Definitely,
Absolutely.
man.
It's an
Horribly.
understatement. The shape return scene, I think everything in that shot was perfect. Absolutely, that was a great scene. I love the tracking shot of Michael walking from house to house, and it was all done in one shot, which is just incredible. And the scenery was perfect. It reminded me of like Halloween 2 and the original in a way, like combined. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, man, for sure. Huge fan of Halloween series. I like Halloween 2010 Kills and Ends to me. That's dope. Hindered Collector, man. Yeah, pretty good, man. You like three of these films. Uh yeah, I mean, yeah, that definitely have the right to love this trilogy, man.
For guys, if you guys we're never gonna fault you for liking a movie, even if it's like a bad movie in our eyes, we'll never fault you for it. That's good that you like it, you know? I wish I did.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
Have you seen Psycho? Of course, the original?
classic.
Good stuff. Are you gonna watch the new Evil Dead movie coming out?
I'm
Okay, so
really looking forward to that one, man.
yeah, I am too, but Evil Dead's a series that I definitely need to rewatch. But I plan on getting them on, like, DVD and stuff like that and doing a big marathon, then I'm gonna watch the new movie in preparation.
Yeah, you should definitely should, man, because it looks decent. It looks decent. The new one.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's one that I'm looking forward to for sure.
Same here. Comment from Johnny. Good evening, gentlemen. Glad I caught the love tonight. I just bought Halloween Ends, and although I agree Kills was much better, I still very much enjoyed the film. That's great, man. That's awesome. I definitely I agree. Kills is definitely a better movie. It's more entertaining. There's a lot more action, and personally, I feel like there's a lot to it, and has a great connection to the original film.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I mean, Ends has some good stuff in it,
Hmm.
but I mean, yeah, it's good. It's good that you really enjoyed the film, man. You know, at least some fans, because I've seen also people say they really like it. So you could say, of course, it divided the fan base, but at least some people kind of still liked it. You know,
Definitely. I was
like
late to the party finishing the trilogy. LOL. Now I'm looking forward to Scream 6. Same here, man. I'm definitely gonna go see it in theaters. I might even dress up as Ghostface and go see it with a couple buddies of mine. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll do a video about it. Who knows?
definitely should, man. Make a video. That'll be pretty funny, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. Scream 6.
Yeah. We did a whole guys, also we did a big discussion video, a live stream of us talking about Scream 6. You guys should definitely check that out if you want to hear our points of view.
Definitely, man. Yeah, yeah. We I think that was a pretty good. I had a good time that live stream, man. We talked about Scream 6,
Same here.
which I think is the main film we're looking forward to as of now. You know,
Definitely.
out of all of them, yeah, for sure.
I kind of feel bad for the Danny DeVito guy in Halloween Kills. Yeah, I felt bad for him too. I did.
Yeah,
Halloween Ends didn't feel like a Michael Myers movie. Absolutely.
for sure. If it was a Corey standalone film, it could have worked.
Yeah.
But Halloween's no way.
But if they I think they should have wrapped up the trilogy, and then if they wanted to do something like that later, I think I would have been okay with that.
It would have worked, yeah.
If it was like a straight to Netflix thing or some deal like that, I don't know. That would have been fine with me.
Or like an anthology series, like you mentioned, man. Because since it's so different, since Ends is so different, I think that's could have been a side project rather than you know along with the rest of the franchise. You know.
Definitely. They should have got writers who actually care about the movie, 100%. And with the release of Halloween Ends and everything that transpired, just goes to show they didn't care. They just wanted to make a movie for themselves, not the fans.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm kind of going through these quickly because we've been on for like a while now. 2018 should have been the final chapter. Absolutely.
I wouldn't mind that either, man. Probably have 2018 as a solo film, standalone
Yeah,
film. It would have worked better.
I think people would appreciate 2018 more, but now 2018's kind of looked on badly just because of how bad Halloween Ends was.
Yeah, for real. But I mean, we still got 2018 to enjoy, man, for sure.
Definitely. Ash versus the Stupid Dad says, "Been a while since I've been to your stream. How are you?" I'm doing good, man.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just here. Glad all of you guys made it to the chat, man. I know some of you guys really looking forward to it. So yeah, shout out to all of you guys, man, who made it today to the live discussion. But we're doing pretty good, man.
I remember one of the kids, or I remember one of the band kids twirling the drumstick, garbage writing. So stupid. Like those stupid band kids. Like, why? At least get big
You're
job.
talking about the bullies, right? The
Yeah,
Corey's
the
bullies.
bullies. Get a bunch of kids that look intimidating, not little scrawny pieces of shit. Sorry. You know
Yeah,
what I mean, though. Uh,
terrible writing.
I thought Halloween Ends was garbage, but RZH2 is tied for the worst. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that's a good topic right there,
Yeah.
or a good comparison you could say. Have you
It's
heard of
funny
the?
because, Halloween, or Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and Halloween Ends, they're both very controversial in the retrospect that they are just so different, and they're so different compared to, like, any of the other movies, you know?
Yeah, H2 as well. Rob Zombie H2. It was just really different, man. That I don't know. It even at that time was looked at like how people look at ends like the worst.
Mhm.
H2 was pretty much was that once.
Yeah. Infinity Dragon says, "Have you heard of the Exorcist reboot coming out?" I actually did a discussion video on my channel recently. If you guys would like to check it out, I basically talked about my thoughts on the upcoming movie and why I'm going into it cautiously optimistic, but I'm also really worried for the film. But if you guys would like to support and check out that video, I'd appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, man, for sure. Just I don't know. It's just remake. Uh,
Yeah,
Charles Band's Goalies.
Ghoulies. What is that? What's Charles Band's Ghoulies? I don't know what that is. Do you?
Think it's a movie, but I'm not sure if he's saying we watched it or no. Actually, no, I haven't seen that
Yeah, I
film.
haven't seen that either.
My
Uh,
favorite scene.
yeah, opening versus. Oh, my favorite scene besides opening is the credits. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
pretty
best part.
much.
It got me excited.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, hell yeah. And then with the new theme song and the
Yeah.
pumpkin, of course.
Oh, what did you think about the opening text with the Halloween 3 font? Did you like that?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, actually, that's one thing that really stood out too. In when I first saw it, I was like, really like I felt it was little too simple,
Yeah.
but then I heard about it after it was because of H3.
Yeah,
That's nice. That's a nice reference. Compared to the previous two, it was a little simple, but I like it because I guess it's considered the third film. So that's a nice little reference right there.
definitely. I just feel like the pumpkins weren't needed. It should have just been the font and those weird little lines that it has on the screen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I kind of the pumpkin kind of look off, on
Yeah,
the credits
yeah.
or
It was
ends.
definitely CGI.
Yeah,
Infinity Dragon says Halloween Ends reminded me of Friday the 13th Part 5. Yes, and it also reminded me of Jason Goes to Hell and Christine all mashed into one.
yeah, yeah. That's interesting, man. Like part 5 Friday and then ends. People really like
Yeah.
they're like really
Also,
similar.
Jason Goes to Hell too. Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, Christine. Yeah, Christine too, man. Yeah, it just felt like of like films we've seen before. You know,
Yeah.
isn't as bad. Underrated. I like Part Five too. It's one of my favorite Fridays as well, man. I
Yeah,
like Part
but
Five.
yeah, it's not like the worst in the series by any means. I think they could have done a lot better with the story, especially with the Roy character, Roy Burns. But it wasn't
Yeah,
the worst thing in the world. The copycat Jason idea was a little weird for me, but it's fine.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, yes, talking about Michael Myers with Jason and Roy mask. Yeah, isn't that funny? The thing is, the reason why I wear this mask is because it has the holes in it, so it's kinda
Yeah.
easier to hear my voice. If I wore, like, a ghost face mask, let's say, for example, my voice would sound muffled, so that's why I wear it.
Say, man. As you guys know, I wear the hockey masks for live streams because it's more comfortable, honestly,
Really?
to
Yeah.
breathe, to talk. You know.
Does get a little sweaty under there, but
Yeah.
uh,
Finally.
Ash versus the Stupid Dead says, "I hated they killed Michael Myers in the end. If he survived, it would be a little bit better, but still bad if Myers killed Laurie and then disappeared when cops came. I would have liked that more, but still bad." Yeah. Yeah, they also killed off Michael Myers, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's funny? We were talking about the comparison between Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and Halloween Ends. They both killed off Michael Myers in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they have a lot of
similarity.
similarities. You know.
Yeah. Corey and Allison was just cringe together. If they had Corey introduced in 2018 and build him up, that would have been much better. Absolutely. And do you know what would have been way better? If Corey was actually Allison's boyfriend in 2018.
Yeah.
That would set up everything
That'll make
perfect.
way more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's true. But even though 2018 was the reintroduction, I wouldn't want to see Corey, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want them for the comeback for the first Myers comeback film to focus on a copycat. I think for a sequel it would work. The
Definitely.
whole Corey thing, you know.
Yeah.
But I agree totally for sure, man. It's just out of placement with ends, wrong timing, man.
I still wondered how the lady survived a stab to the neck. Oh my god, we forgot to talk about that.
Right.
The light tube. I forgot that she survived.
Hey,
How
yeah,
the hell did
man.
she survive that?
In ends, that's the one that confronts Lori outside of the market, right?
Yeah, she survived.
Yeah, dude. That yeah, man. That's I thought she probably was dead or something, you know.
I'm here.
Hey, but that's interesting. I like you could say I kind of like that because you could say the survivors have a pretty bad impact, so they're blaming it on Lori
Yeah,
because of her of her, you know, of all this. So that was a nice touch, you could say, but it was really out of the blue. Like it was
it was
like
random.
yeah,
Also, the supermarket stuff, or everything that took place in the supermarket with Hawkins and Lori was just cringe. Like, Lori's playing with her hair like she's 16 years old and, like, all nervous. It's like, "You're a grown adult, lady."
yeah, dude, yeah, dude. I thought the same thing. Like people around me were freaking like laughing, dude.
So dumb.
Like of course not laughing of funny, but of funny, like laughing of how freaking like silly it is. Like
Ridiculous it is, yeah. Halloween 2018 is the best in the trilogy. I agree. Definitively, it's the best movie in the trilogy.
yeah, man, definitely my favorite for sure.
Yeah. I bought Halloween Ends, accidentally dropped it, and broke the case, and I don't even care. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Would you really spend on another one for this kind of movie? That's
Oh,
funny.
no.
That's funny though.
No. You know what's funny? I didn't even purchase this. My girlfriend got it for me as a gift, and when I
Yeah,
got it, I was like, "Thank you." Like, I mean, this is cool for the collection, definitely, but it's not a
yeah,
movie I plan on rewatching anytime soon, you know? I just had to get it for the collection.
yeah. You haven't even bought it, huh? Like you didn't even buy it before.
Nope. I was planning on getting it at some point, but she happened to beat me to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
At least you got it for free, man.
yeah, pretty cool.
You actually lucky you broke it. That's funny, man.
One thing I love about the Blumhouse Halloween is how much they give homage to Halloween 3. I like that
Yeah,
too. It's kind of weird that they're paying homage to the movies that don't count in the series anymore. It is a little weird, but I get why they do it. They're trying to appeal to fans.
yeah, yeah, and just for the fact it being like the third movie, maybe that's the reason they did it. But of
Mhm,
course, there's no connection there. They didn't really have to. But you could say it's a nice reference, you know,
definitely.
nice tribute to H3.
Fun fact, did you know N's title is Blue, just like Halloween 3 because it's the third Blumhouse Halloween? Yep, we just
Yep.
talked about that earlier.
Yeah, man, that's great. That's a great touch,
Yeah.
if you
Mhm.
ask me.
I like the version of the Halloween Ends theme song. I actually liked it.
Yeah, yeah. I like kills and ends, man.
Yeah.
They did a good job with John Carpenter. Did the three of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I really like the Kills song with the orchestra and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It sounded really good.
I
Especially in
also,
theaters. I
uh,
got goosebumps
yeah, yeah. I feel like when with the orchestra, and it kind of makes the theme more. It adds more to it, you know.
for sure because it kind of shows like the evil transcending, I guess, with like hearing like the no, you know. Sorry, that was terrible, but
Yeah, yeah,
um remember the photo years ago of Halloween Ends that hold on, Jamie posted that has a sign saying leaving Haddonfield? I don't really remember that. Do you remember
yeah.
that?
No, no,
Yeah.
don't. I don't. Oh, actually, I think
I don't know what he's referring to.
I don't know if she meant it by saying she's done with the Lori character.
Oh, I thought she
I'm not
confirmed.
really sure. Yeah,
I If you watch Jimmy Kimmel Live, uh, I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel, but I happened to watch the clip because I saw it on YouTube and it was trending. But Jamie Lee Curtis confirmed that this is her last Halloween movie. But she also said that around the time H2O came out and she did Resurrection, so I don't really take her word for it.
yeah, man. Yeah, true. That's very true. Cause hey, I'm assuming they're mostly in it for the check, you know.
Definitely.
Since Halloween is a pretty profitable franchise, man, I think that's all they give a shit about at this point, you know.
Ash says it was a set photo years ago. Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I might have seen it, probably not, but it does find it kind of sounds familiar, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But again, I think that pretty much wraps it up. We touched on all the movies. Definitely curious to rewatch Halloween Ends at some point. I definitely will rewatch it because I feel like it's fair to give it another chance and another viewing. But we could all agree that it's a crappy movie for sure.
Yeah, probably with one more viewing, man. You kind of it might grow on you. You might hate it more,
Hmm.
but maybe it might be painful to watch, but I mean, eventually, I mean, I rewatched them not too long ago, so I don't think I'll be watching these anytime soon.
Yeah,
But they're interesting, man. Like I said, it was worth it. You could say
I agree. Definitely
for
worth it.
one decent film, yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, man. I mean, that's gonna be pretty much it. We're gonna be wrapping it up here. And that's pretty much all I gotta say, man, about the trilogy.
Yeah, same here, man.
Yeah, so I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. I know it took a while for this live stream. Definitely was looking forward to it, man. Talking about this trilogy. I probably won't make another live or another video talking about this trilogy. I think this one will be my last one.
Hmm.
Uh, because yeah, I think we've talked about it enough, man. So
Yeah,
shout out to all of you guys, man, who tuned in tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. You guys already know the live stream discussions. We're gonna be doing more, and of course, slash movies. Whenever you're free, whenever you definitely feel free to get in contact, and we'll set another one up, man, for sure.
yeah, for sure. Maybe we could talk about the new Exorcist sequel.
I'm down, man. I'm down. Yeah, because that's one that, yeah, especially we're getting real close because it's coming out this year, right? October.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, so we should. I think something might be around the corner soon. I really can't wait. I'm down for that one.
Yeah, maybe even the we could touch on the Chucky TV series or something like that too, because I actually just finished season 2, and I have a lot to say about that.
For sure, I'm down. I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to watch season 2 because I didn't finish it. But I'm down, man. I'm down for anything. You already know.
For sure. Yeah, thanks so much for bringing me on, man. This was such a fun discussion. I can't wait to do more live streams soon.
Likewise, man. So that's gonna be pretty much it, man. Hope you guys have a good night. Have a blessed rest of your night. It's gonna be pretty much it, man. Michael Myers signing out.
Take care, guys. Good night.
Peace.